Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia announced plans to raise a 93 billion naira bond to establish the Benue Digital Infrastructure Company. This initiative aims to address insecurity, boost economic growth, and improve citizens' quality of life. The project focuses on providing high-speed internet, enhancing digital literacy, and driving technological innovation in the state. Governor Alia emphasized the state targets generating 158 billion naira annually over the next decade. Since the resumption of office, the governor has faced significant security challenges and they restructured the state security architecture, including establishing the bureaus for homeland security. Efforts to enhance cooperation among law enforcement agencies and the use of digital technology to combat insecurity are ongoing. The government plans to provide businesses and implement security passes with identification tags or QR code to prevent wrongful arrest and enhance security. All right, the governor of Benue State, according to him, I seen earlier that they are raising about 93 billion naira to be able to put all of this thing in place, especially to handle insecurity. So is it that this is what we need to handle insecurity in a state? And if this is the criteria to handle insecurity, how come other states have not come in to contribute this kind of money? And if it is because of money, all the location that they have put in insecurity to fight insecurity in the state, why has it not been implemented? Why do we still have the increased rate of criminals in Nigeria?
I want to provide solution.
Okay.
Therefore, I wouldn't want to, say what those of us who are into private security believe that any state that face a state insecurity matter more than a month, you must ask those people in power question.
Okay.
They have to explain to the public. But on this, remember Benue have been exposed to a lot of issue of insecurity in Nigeria for the past 3, 4, 5 years. And those items being outlined on a process of achieving or curtail the issue of insecurity is in line with a security prevention approach. But then, if they are sincere to themselves, they should apply the security method in which the Israelis apply for over 50 to 70 years. When Israelis were exposed to security challenges, they spend more of their budgets on security gadgets, electronic, and so many things that will defend them against external threats from the nearby country. If you listen to the president of Israel last 2 weeks, you heard him when he was saying that they are not afraid of any of the nearby country. It's not our case, but I'm trying to draw a scenario whereby the Benue should understand that they have been exposed to criminality. Therefore, they need to put measures in place to checkmate these activities. It has to include their school curriculum has to carry the issue of insecurity consciousness from nursery to primary school, to secondary school, and to the higher institution. Remember, their case is peculiar. The way we are facing the issue of oil theft in River State, Bayelsa, Delta, and part of Akwa Ibom, they are not facing the same challenges in Benue State when it has to do with oil theft. So you see our people lamenting and checkmating the activities of the oil theft in the more Niger Delta, whereas in the Benue, they are facing the challenge of insecurity. All those bandits, kidnappers, attacks from the S-men and all that. So their activities is purely different. So it can't go around to all the states. They have to put measures in place to checkmate this. Training people. You know, in Israel, let me borrow the idea from Israel. If they are having issue, if you have an Israeli working here as a security expert to you, and they are having problem in their country, in the next 72 hours, all of them report back to their country. They will resign from the work.
Wow.
And fall back home. Again, in Israel, it will be very difficult for you to differentiate the conventional security and the private security. They work hand to hand. Benue need to also inculcate all those people who have private security companies, those who are providing security services to companies, to schools and the rest. These people need to inculcate into community policing in Benue State so that they can generate intelligence gathering and transmit it to the police, the army, the navy, the air force, who can act upon, because they are not legalized to carry a firearm.
Okay.
But in Benue State, it should be peculiar that some certain firearms should be legalized for private security company, such like pepper spray, stun gun. These ones are something that cannot kill somebody instantly, except somebody has some medical issues. Okay. But these can also put criminalities into check before the conventional security will come to help them. Finally, they should not also exclude denomination, churches, both Pentecostal and Orthodox. Remember, I've been mentioning church in issue of security in Nigeria because a lot of people who doesn't watch television, who are not on social media, they do go to church. And a lot of our people these days believe so much on the pastors in the church. Remember, some people call their pastor daddy, whereas they don't call their husband in the house daddy, they call them their name. So they also believe that they are their role model. So they should be inculcated into the security architecture in Benue State. They will curtail it, not by mentioning the money. Normally, if they mention 100 and something or 18, whatever billion naira, they just want to justify what the money is spent for. If not, no need for them to outline things they want to use it for, so that the criminality will not be working ahead of them.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. We hope that this will get to Benue State Governor and they have to tighten up their seatbelt again. And this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break. When we return, we'll look at the rest of the story. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. Before we went on the short break, we were talking about this story from Benue State, where the governor of the state, Hyacinth Alia, said that the government is raising about 93 billion naira to be able to tackle insecurity and other amenities in the state. And of course, my guest has laid an amazing outline for this on what they should do. He has professed solutions that they can actually work with. But before we go to the next story, which is on drugs trafficking, I would like to know, in a situation, you actually mentioned something like pepper spray and all of those. Don't you think that if these things come into existence, there is every tendency that the criminals will also key into it and start using those things? Those
things are already in existence in Nigeria. For all of us who are involved in private security firm, have the knowledge of it.
Okay.
But it has not been legalized to be freely used by the private security company. But I'm just suggesting that a special preference should be given to Benue State because they are facing issue of insecurity. So that when they include, remember, a private security guard is unarmed.
Okay.
And every criminal always come with a minor or heavy weapon, knowing so well that it could be an attack or there could be an attempt to prevent him or her to carry out his criminal act. Therefore, they always come with all plan of two ways. Either I dismantle anybody who wants to prevent me to succeed on my operation, or to use the weapon they have to safeguard themselves when they meet resistance for them to run away.
But in a situation, looking at the level of insecurity in our country, especially in Benue State, like we're talking about, and of course you have given a solution that they should allow them. Are they even supposed to wait for a security expert to advise them on what to do, knowing that in a situation that we are right now in this country, nobody is safe. So everybody need to have at least one or two. Like in some of the countries, gun is legalized for safe defense. So why can't they do that for these private sectors?
I just make mention that there is a belief in the private security sector that if an insecurity sustain more than a particular time in a community, in a family, in a state, or in a country, those in authority should be called to answer some questions. I just mentioned, I don't want to throw more light into it. Rather, I prefer to provide solution to the problem rather than accusing the source of their insecurity problem in Benue State. But if they will not work with the private security guard, they will continue to have more problem in that state. For them to curtail that insurgency in that state, all hands that has to do with security must be on deck. Otherwise, they will fail.
All right, thank you so much. And then the next story for today is on drugs trafficking.